to True Telos Trading. Our little red streak is over. We stuck to our strategies today and we came out on top using our True Telos Trading grading scale. We found a stock that was A quality and we are green on it today. Let's go ahead and get into that trade of today. The ticker of the stock that we traded today was STI. Today is September 3rd, 2025. The stock did not have news today. As a matter of fact, when it was put up on the broker, I use Webull as my broker. It didn't even have news on the on the news screen. It didn't have any news pop up at all. But I saw that it was moving with a considerable amount of volume, so I pulled it up. I pulled up the official site for STI. So like I said a few videos ago, if I don't see the news pop up on the broker, I go to Yahoo Finance, because Yahoo Finance has the news for the stocks a lot of times before the broker puts it up. And if Yahoo doesn't have it, then I will go to the official site. So Webull didn't have it. I went to Yahoo. Yahoo didn't have it. I typed in the company name, looked up their press releases or their news releases, and they had news come out yesterday that wasn't on Yahoo or Webull. So this one right here would be a 1. The float was below 10 million. It was about 1.4 million shares. This would be a 2. The stock was trading above the 200 MA. I believe I bought the stock at about $8.21, and the 200 MA on the daily is at $1.64. So this would be a 2. The stock was up well over 130% this morning. This will be a 1. It was below $10 because I bought it at $8.21, so this will be a 1. And it was the number 1 stock this morning traded, so this would be a 1 as well. If we add all of these together, that gives us a grand score of 8. And according to our True Telos Trading grading scale, a stock rated an 8 is an A quality stock. So again, another A quality stock that we traded this morning that we are now green on today. Let's go ahead and get into the chart to see how we traded it. This is our stock here, STI, the A quality stock that I traded this morning. One of my viewers asked me to go into a little bit more detail when describing how not only the criteria that I use to grade the stocks before I trade it, but how I enter and exit. So I will do my best to explain that process to us today. So this was the high of day of this stock pre-market. The high of day was about $8.36. We're looking at the 1 minute chart right now. I trade primarily off of the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the daily. And a few things have to match up on all of those before I actually take a trade. So one of the things that I look for on the 1 minute and the daily would be these moving averages right here. A viewer asked me about the VWAP that I have down here, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll look at the 9 moving average and the 20 moving average firstly. The 9 always has to be above the 20. That just lets me know that the sentiment for the market for this particular stock is positive, along with the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence. I have these lines the same color. The blue line is the 9, the yellow is the 20, the positive and negative. The blue line always has to be above the yellow for me to actually enter a trade, and it has to be that on both the 1 minute, and then let me switch to the 5, and the 5 minute. They have to be the same. I need to see that same sentiment on 2 different time frames. When looking for resistance points on the daily, I'm looking for where price currently is, which was here at this $8.36, to the next resistance where price tends to bounce off of, and I like to go off of a low of a candle that's near that point, or the high of a candle that's near that point, which was this candle here, matched up. Could have went a little bit higher, but I chose to go the path of least resistance, and it's normally like that all the way back. But this stock isn't very old at all. I wasn't planning on the stock getting back up to that $9.94. That's a bit presumptuous. So I just went for the next resistance point that matched a few points where the stock had hit before and was currently, bouncing off of. Looking forward to play ping pong in between these 2 points on the daily. And this matched up perfectly well with a resistance point that I can look for the stock returning to. So let's get back to that 1 minute. So again, I'm looking for that 9 to be above the 20. Looking for looking for a positive MACD, which I have here. Looking for a lot of volume to come in on that stock as well. Let's get back to where we are. So what made me look up this stock? So when I first looked at it on Webull, I put it into my True Telos Trading grading scale, and it was rated a 7. So I didn't look at it when I first sat down in the morning. I sit down in the morning every day about 5:30 a.m. And that's when I began putting in these stocks into my True Telos Trading grading scale to see if they match the criteria. I trade off of the top gainer scanner on Webull, and I only look at the top 6 stocks there, because looking at any further down would just be a big distraction to me. I'm not trying to look at the entire market, because I only trade what would be in the top 3 normally. Why would I look at the other 50 to 100 stocks that are at the bottom? I'm not trying to find anything moving up. I'm not trying to catch the beginning of a move. I'm trying to trade with that momentum, with the move that's already being made. So I don't need to see all of the stocks that are below the top 6. I could see a little bit more, but like I said, since I'm primarily trading only the top 3, I don't want to look at a whole lot of them, because they are very, very much distracting. So the high of day here was 8:36 back here at 4 o'clock in the morning. I saw, this is what made me look it up on Yahoo Finance. I saw this giant pop up here, about 105,000 shares of volume, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, why is it popping up right there? And if like, with no news, no nothing, I don't see a really big reason. Sometimes stocks do pop up like that off of no news, but normally it's like a cheaper stock, not a stock that's close to $10. Not a stock that's up there. A stock going from, let's see what this was. A stock making a like 50-cent move in less than a minute, that's priced over $5, over $7. That's, don't really see that very often. So I went to go look that stock up on Yahoo. Didn't see any news. Typed in the stock into Google, looked up the stock's company website, and saw that it did have news. So that is when it became that A quality stock that I'm looking to trade. So in this area here, there was a lot of resistance between was a 770 and was an 810. So I was looking for the stock before I would enter a trade. The strategy that I use today, I call was it breaking high of day. So I'm looking for stock to break high of day and surge to the next most obvious resistance point that I see on the chart. This one could have been placed a little bit higher, but I went just a little bit lower, just to save me was a lot of risk if I want to wait to see if it hits that resistance point. So as the stock broke over this little bit of resistance here from that 770 to 810, that's when I purchased shares for the break of the high of day. I was able to get in with 349 shares at $8.21. So about right here, I was able to get in for that break high of day on this candle here. This candle had 134,000 shares of volume. So bought right here at 21. I was looking for that move up here, but just like yesterday, I had this topping tail. Like the stock broke high of day, and it began to come down here. The same as yesterday, I did not hold. I chose to sell that position as that price was coming back down, and I do think I made a good decision. Even though it came back up here, it didn't quite meet our our next resistance point. So as it came back down here, I actually got out of this entire position at $8.37. So before it actually came all the way back down, I got about, let me see if I can do math, about 16 cent of profit off of 349 shares. That left me with a profit today of $55.14. Again, it was a pretty decent trade. Was it not the best? I wish I could have got out a little bit higher. My exit indicator was that price coming back down. When it breaks that high up there, I'm expecting it to surge a little bit higher or surge higher. But since it did not surge higher after it broke a higher day, so I decided to sell that entire position with that retrace as the exit indicator. So that's one of the strategies that I use to enter and exit a trade called breaking high of day. That brings me a little bit of profit. As I continue to trade, I'll continue to explain some of the strategies that I do use to enter and exit trades because I'm getting questions about that. And that is True Telos Trading. And thank you all for listening. So again, back in the green, back using our True Telos Trading rating scale to enter and exit and select stocks that are of high quality. It's something that I want to continue to do. And I remember speaking with us all yesterday about using emotions while we are trading. We are all human. It's hard for us not to put how we feel into something that we are passionate about. But in the world of trading, that can be a big detriment to what we are doing, because trading in itself is trading emotions, but you're trading other people's emotions and not yours. So that is what's going to make us profitable: sticking to our strategies, staying disciplined and staying determined with what we are doing. That's something that we are going to continue to do. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask me. I am an open book. I love when we have comments. I love when we have questions about how we're doing, how the journey's going. How can we make the journey better? I had a few questions yesterday that made me think about what I am doing and how I can fine tune it to make everything better. And I love questions like that. So please keep them coming. As always, like I said, I'm an open book. I have a million questions for you as well. Welcome to True Telos Trading, and I will see you all tomorrow.